The H1B Guy here, and today, the H1B Guy news for the week ending February 26, 2021. The H1B Lottery countdown continues as March 9th is right around the corner, and one big presidential proclamation. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you, if you haven't already, to please subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube and like this video so that I can continue to produce more content like this for you. I also wanted to mention the H1B Guy offers a variety of consulting services. I help businesses and individuals solve complex work authorization issues in the recruitment process while bringing awareness to employment-based immigration benefits. Please reach out. I'd love to hear how I can help you. Today's news is brought to you by RecruiterNetworks.com, the smart solution for digital perm ads since 2001. Before we get started, I wanted to mention that if you're looking for ways to help support me and the H1B Guy platform, I've set up a Buy Me a Coffee campaign at buymeacoffee.com/theH1BGuy. No amount is too small and will be invested back into the technology of this channel and my website. Now, the news. February 19th, 2021. In an article written by Nick Kolakowski for Dice titled Biden Immigration Bill Leaves Door Open to H1B Lottery Shift. Quote, President Biden's U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021 would overhaul the nation's immigration system, offering a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants who complete a number of milestones. However, it may also retain one crucial H-1B reform proposed during the Trump administration. Secretary of Homeland Security, the Secretary of Homeland Security in consultation with the Secretary of Labor may issue regulations to establish procedures by prioritizing such visas based on wages offered by employers. Stephen Yale Lohr, a professor of immigration law practice at Cornell Law School, told Bloomberg Law that the proposal in the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021 is similar to the Trump-era rule, but that the Departments of Homeland Security and Labor also had the latitude not to implement it. For 2021, the H-1B lottery is proceeding as planned. How it looks next year, though, could hinge on whether Biden's sweeping immigration bill becomes law and whether his administration wants to implement a wage-based system. I know I've covered this several times over the last few weeks, and quite frankly, you may be sick of it, but I think it's worth mentioning here again. This article highlights the carryover language from one of the last Trump-era final rules directed towards the H-1B visa. As I said during my breakdown of the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021 impact on employment-based benefits, this keeps the door open for DHS to implement a wage-based selection for the H-1B lottery. DHS has until December 31st, 2021 to announce their plans for the H-1B lottery for fiscal year 2023, and it's going to be very interesting to see what they decide to roll out. It's apparent to me that within the ranks of DHS and DOL, there is a mutual interest to implement this change, signaling that we're going to see something along the lines of using wage-based selection as part of the H-1B lottery system sooner rather than later. In order to make this happen, they're going to have to provide a percentage allocation for each of the wage levels, meaning the highest paid in each wage level is selected based on the MSA, Metropolitan Statistical Area. We are now 11 days from the electronic filing window for the H-1B visa lottery for fiscal year 2022 opening. March 9th will be here before we know it. February 24th, 2021. In a presidential proclamation published by the White House titled A Proclamation on Revoking Proclamation 10,014. Quote, the suspension of entry imposed in Proclamation 10,014 of April 22nd, 2020, suspension of entry of immigrants who present a risk to the United States labor market during the economic recovery following the 2019 novel coronavirus outbreak, as extended by Section 1 of Proclamation 10,052 of June 22nd, 2020, and Section 1 of Proclamation 10,131 of December 31st, 2020, does not advance the interest of the United States. To the contrary, it harms the United States, including by preventing certain family members of United States citizens and lawful permanent residents from joining their families here. It also harms industries in the United States that utilize talent from around the world, and it harms individuals who were selected to receive the opportunity for applying, and those who have likewise received immigrant visas through fiscal year 2020 Diversity Visa Lottery. Section 1, Revocation, Proclamation 10,014, Section 1, Proclamation 10,052, and Section 1 of Proclamation 10,131 are revoked. Section 2, Review of Agency Guidance. The Secretary of State, the Secretary of Labor, and the Secretary of Homeland Security shall review any regulations, orders, guidance documents, policies, and other similar agency actions developed pursuant to Proclamation 10,014 as appropriate, issue revised guidance consistent with the policy set forth in this proclamation. This news broke late Wednesday, and thanks to my good friend Maddie, who mentioned it on the H1B Guy and Friends Live episode 2. Last Friday, the news broke of successful litigation in the lawsuit against PP 10,014, and it felt like it was only going to be a matter of time before something was announced. The attorneys even had come out and said that there was dates that were mentioned through the end of March, even before, this announcement. This proclamation basically says that U.S. consulates can now issue family, employer, and diversity visas. Whether or not these individuals actually get an appointment is to be determined. That seems to be the hardest part right now. I'm interested to see how this plays out. Not only are the diversity visa winners from 2021 impacted, but now we're heading towards also affecting the 2020 winners were impacted, but now we're also heading towards affecting the 2021 winners as well. So it's a big mess right now for diversity visa holders. It looks like it's heading in the right direction, but the question is can they get a consulate appointment before their time expires? And yet, only one section of PP 10,052 was revoked, thus requiring this clarification. February 25th, 2021, in a post written by Henry Macia for JD Super titled, "What You Need to Know About Biden's Travel Ban Revocation." Quote, "What's stayed the same? The U.S. consulates still are not permitted to issue H1B, L1, H4, or J1 visas, which allow temporary entry unless an exception applies. This particular ban is set to expire on March 31st, 2021. The U.S. consulates can still issue immigrant visas to spouses and children of U.S. citizens and the other categories exempted by the prior executive orders. Lawful permanent residents can continue to enter the United States with a valid permanent resident card." So you still must be considered essential and critical employee in order to qualify for the exception. Evidence from your employer must be provided, and you also must be able to successfully obtain a consulate appointment. Right now, this is no small task. I'm curious to see if President Biden will allow all of PP 10,052 to expire on March 31st, 2021, or if we'll see a similar proclamation revoking it before that. It appears that they will let the H1B lottery play its course this year, notify those that are selected April 1st, 2021, and then very quietly let that proclamation expire. I had someone reach out to me last week from Brazil, and he has an H1B that was approved. He has evidence from his employer that he is essential, yet he cannot get a consulate appointment to get into the country to perform a role that his employer badly needs. I hope something's going to change in regard to Presidential Proclamation 10,052 very soon. Otherwise, shame on DHS for allowing USCIS to hold the annual H1B lottery if that is not the intention. To read the full post on the H1B Guy news for the week ending February 26, 2021, please check out the H1BGuy.com, and don't forget to sign up for the mailing list while you're there. A reminder that today's news was brought to you by RecruiterNetworks.com, the smart solution for digital perm ads since 2001. This national job board network provides recruitment websites in 1,024 major U.S. metro areas. Each local job board is its own portal and is a low-cost resource for immigration recruitment ads for all industries and professions with a flat price of $225 per ad regardless of which city you choose. RecruiterNetworks.com has been the #1 place for immigration attorneys, immigration ad agencies, and employers to meet the DOL requirements for the digital portion of the perm advertisement rules. RecruiterNetworks.com. Tell them the H1B guy sent you. Just want to ask you again, if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube, and click the bell for notifications so that you're notified anytime we post new content here to this channel. If you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I really appreciate your support. I'm Robert. I'm the H1B Guy, your global source for all things H1B.